Hello, welcome to Big Or Games unboxing video of the new Star Wars X-Wing Ewing expansion from Rogue One. My name is Simon, I'll be doing the unboxing today. So this is the new Ewing, which as I said is from the Rogue One film, so if you haven't seen it, slight spoilers in here, so do be careful about watching the video. I'm not going to actually talk about anything that happens in the film, but obviously there are characters and stuff that will appear in this. So what I'm going to do is open it up and show you what you get inside. This isn't in-depth analysis or strategy on how to use the Ewing, it's just a video to show you what cool stuff you get in here. And the Ewing is a very cool ship, especially if you're starting out, but we'll get to why as we go through the contents. So once I can actually fight my way through the box, I will show you what you get in here. So let's open that bit up. So as you can see, we've got the ship model, of course, and then all the components and gubbins you need for flying it. Obviously this is a large ship, so you get a large base with it. So first things first though is this fold out sheet, which shows you all the components you get, which is all the tokens you need to fly the Ewing, as well as all the upgrade cards. You get 14 upgrade cards in this, which is insane. It explains some of the new rules, including how the zero maneuver works. How some of the upgrades work, like dual cards as well. I mean, there's loads of cool stuff in this. It explains rules on the large ships, and also the new mission, Mission 20, Patrol Ambush. So if you want to play with, want to play the new mission, make sure you keep a hold of this so you can, which is the new Ewing mission. And then you've also got its dial on the back here. As you can see, it's a relatively maneuverable. I think it's comparable sort of more towards, say, a B-Wing or something. It's lots of gentle maneuvers, banks, rather than sharp turns. So, but it does have that unique zero maneuver. So yeah, keep hold of that in case you need it for your rules referencing. So I'm going to show you the ship in a little bit. First of all, we're going to show you what you get in here, which is all your tokens and your cards for the ship. Oh, my apologies if I suddenly start coughing throughout the video. Still recovering from the usual holiday cold everyone seems to catch. So here we have the ship token, and you can see the maneuver dial is there as well. I'll just flick that round. So you can see the maneuver dials there, and then you've got shield tokens, crit tokens, lock-ons, focus, everything you'd need. Shields as well, everything is there. So on to the cards themselves. So I'll go through the upgrade cards in a moment, and there are lots of them to go through. First of all, I will show you the pilots. So here we have Cassian Andor, the Ewing pilot. So pilot skill 6, 3 attack, 1 agility, 4 hull and 4 shield. So you can see this is quite a survivable ship, especially being so big. Clocking in at 27 points. It has the focus and target lock abilities, and upgrades wise you have the elite pilot talent, I forget the sensor one, the torpedoes, and 2 crew. I always forget what that one is called, sorry, my apologies. So yeah, plenty of upgrade opportunities, especially with the double crew. And what you have here is, at the start of the activation phase, you may remove 1 stress token from one of the friendly ship at range 1 to 2. This is useful for numerous reasons. Very good at removing stress from stress bot loads, or very good at creating combos which require you to take stress. I believe there's the card Rage and stuff like that. It's got loads of really interesting applications, so quite a cool one, and at only 27 points as well. 4 hull and 4 shields for 27 points. What a bargain. Speaking of bargains, we're on to Bodhi Rook. So pilot skill 4, still the same stats, still the same abilities, same upgrades, but it loses the elite pilot talent. Clocking in at 25 points, Bodhi's ability is when a friendly ship acquires a target lock, that ship can lock onto an enemy ship at range 1 to 3 of any friendly ship. So it really increases your target locking range, allows you to pretty much lock onto anything on the board that you need to, especially if you've got lots of ships everywhere. Very cool ability, very useful. I can see Bodhi seen play. Heftobber, which I believe Heftobber is the assistant director's character or something like that. So it's a cute little reference. Pilot skill 3, still the same stats, same upgrades and abilities as Bodhi. At 24 points, only 1 point less. After an enemy ship executes a maneuver that causes it to overlap your ship, you may perform a free action. It's not too bad. The thing is, it's not going to come up very often, unfortunately. Plus, once your opponent sees what your ability is, they're probably just going to try and avoid overlapping you. So unfortunately, it's situational at best. And then we have the Blue Squadron Pathfinder, which is nice and cheap. So it comes in at 23 points. Pilot skill 2 and no ability on there, but still the same upgrades and abilities as before. The only difference is Cassian has the elite pilot talent upgrade slot. So coming in at 23 points, you can get 4 of these in a list, which is not bad. That's 24 hull, 24 shields your opponent's got to rip through. Overall, the pilots, there's only 4 of them as usual, but, there's a pretty good diversity of abilities. Cassian's and Bodhi's really cool. Have some just a little bit lackluster just because your opponent can avoid it. And then obviously Blue Squadron at 23 points just means you can spam them. So I think altogether the pilots are really cool. So onto this pile of upgrade cards. So the brand new card we have is Expertise, and again, if you sim Rogue One, you're going to recognise the artwork there. So it's elite pilot talent, clocks in at 4 points, which is a huge amount in this game. When attacking, if you are not stressed, you may change all of your focus results to hit results. It basically acts as a free focus ability every turn. Very useful, very cool. Downside, very expensive. I think this is going to see sort of like elite lists where you get 1 or 2 elite ships. That might see play in that because it's effectively acting as focus every turn as long as you're not stressed. So, and you get 2 of those in there. We have the Sensor Jammer. That's a reprint from an older set coming in at 4 points. So it allows you to change a hit back to a focus, and they can't re-roll the die, and you get 1 of those. Fourchette Torpedoes is another reprint. Again, it's been covered before. It's just a really nice damaging torpedo. Pardon me, sorry. Baze Malbus. So this is a unique character. It's rebel only. And again, if you've seen Rogue One, you'll recognise him. So it's a crew, comes in at 3 points. After you perform an attack that does not hit, you may immediately perform a primary weapon attack against a different ship, but you cannot perform another attack this round. Unfortunately, he's a slightly worse gunner, because your second attack has to be against a different ship, and you're not always going to be in range or arc of 2 enemy ships at the same time. So, unfortunately, he's a slightly worse gunner. Shame. Bistan. Rebel only crew comes at 2 points. When attacking at range 1 to 2, you may change one of your hit results to a crit result. Pretty neat, a little ability. 2 points, possibly a little expensive. If he'd been 1, he'd be, taken quite frequently. 2 points just makes him a little bit more, a bit more of a question. But still, very nice ability, very useful. And Bistan is one of the characters again, Rogue One. And I believe he's played by the guy who played the Ewok from Return of the Jedi, but I could be completely wrong. I think it's that character, but I could be completely wrong. Bodhi Rook, another Rogue One character, rebel only, of course. When you acquire a target lock, you can lock onto an enemy ship at range 1 to 3 of any friendly ship, and it costs 1 point. Notice his ability is basically the same as his pilot ability. So I can see people taking the ship more than him, because obviously being a unique character you can only have one or the other, but at least having him as a crew gives you the option to take him on board another ship, or to use like Cassian or Hef or the Blue Squadron and then have Bodhi on board. So it creates options. I like that they've done that, and it's available as a crew. Same again for Cassian, now available as a crew as well. Rebel only. He's 2 points, and at the end of the planning phase you may choose an enemy ship at range 1 to 2. Guess aloud that ship's bearing and speed, then look at its dial, and if you're correct, you may rotate your dial to another manoeuvre. So this is a slightly better intelligence officer. I can see this seeing play at high levels where you know what dials your opponent's ships have, almost offhand, and you're going to be able to guess what manoeuvres they're going to be performing based on the situations present. So I can see Cassian being used at high levels of play. If you're just starting or new to the game, it's a complete gamble. But at least you get to see what your opponent's doing before they reveal it. Because don't forget, it's at the end of the planning phase. You've already set your dials, so. But it might affect what actions and stuff you do. Inspiring Recruit is a 1 point crew. Once per round, when a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 removes a stress token, it may remove 1 additional stress token. And this discombos nicely with lots and lots of different things. It's one of the more versatile upgrades, I feel, inside this expansion, just because there's lots of things you can combo it with, because there are loads of cool cards which do awesome things, but the downside is they stress you out. By having this inspiring recruit, you can remove 2 of the stress. So, and you get 2 of them in there, thankfully. Then we have Jin Erso, the main character from Rogue One. Rebel only, she's a 2-point crew. Her action: choose a friendly ship at range 1 to 2. Assign a focus token to that ship for each enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 to 3. You cannot assign more than 3 tokens in this way. Kind of useful. It allows you to dole out a load of focus. It seemed really cool on paper, but I think in reality it's a little limited for what it does. And you're not going to be passing out that much, because it's a friendly ship at range 1 to 2. Assign a focus token to that ship for each enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 to 3. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. You have to be firing in formation to gain that. So it's still a neat card. Maybe it's better than it looks, but yeah, we'll see. And then we have a reprint of Stealth Device. In fact, you get 2 Stealth Devices in there, which is really nice, and we'll come to that in the conclusion. And the Pivot Wing. So here we have the dual card Pivot Wing Attack and Pivot Wing Landing. So these are the 2 modes for the Ewing, because its wings do pivot around. It's a 0-point Ewing only title dual card, increasing your agility value by 1 whilst in the attack position, and after you finish a maneuver you may flip it. And landing mode is whenever you reveal a 0 maneuver, you may rotate your ship 180 degrees. So both versions are very cool. Attack increases your agility by 1, so it makes you more tanky, more defensive, because your agility now goes up to 2. Or you can have it where by performing the 0 maneuver, you're going to flip 180. And that means your maneuvers are a bit more erratic, should we say. Now obviously remember, you have to do, after you execute a maneuver, you may flip this card. So you need to have flipped to landing in the previous turn before you try and use this, because it's when you reveal the maneuver you can flip 180. But yeah, they're 2 very cool options, and for 0 points, why would you not take it? Because it's, it's a title card. So yeah, it's very cool. So that's all of the upgrades there. I think overall, in terms of the cards, this set is great if you're just starting out. There's loads of upgrades there that you can use. The ships themselves are relatively cheap, so it's easy to mix them in with existing ships you've got. Yeah, it's really cool. But before I can finish completely hyping off on about the Ewing, let's take a look at the extra ship itself. So it comes in this massive packaging, which is the standard packaging for large ships, but it doesn't quite fill it all up. It is a bit of an odd one, just because it's quite a thin ship as well. So let me just push it out of there. I'm always nervous about doing this on camera because I don't want to break it in front of you. So here we go. Here's the Ewing now. Do the the wings move. There we go. Sold forever. So I'm going to fold those back into its landing position. I'm just going to show you there. So this is the Ewing. Pretty cool, huh? It's nice. The blues, I mean, it looks quite vibrant on the camera. It's a bit darker in real life. It's a bit of a darker blue. But from what I can see on the camera, it's a bit more vibrant. But I mean, as always with FFG, very nicely detailed. Lots of like panel detailings and little pieces here and there. And again, the same underneath, you can see the continuation of the colours underneath as well, and like the painting, they haven't skimped out just because it's the bottom of it. Engines there, no engine bloom, but I'm not going to actually moan about that for once, because, well, look at them, they're so recessed, I don't blame them for not putting it on there. But yeah, I mean, there's loads of stuff on there. It's really nicely detailed, really well packed. It's the wings move. So that makes it a massive profile on the table. With the wings splayed out like that, but it looks cool, doesn't it? So we'll compare it to another wing. We'll compare it to an X-wing. So there we go. So this is them side by side, as you can see, and you can see the Ewing is just huge. Now it is supposed to be a large ship, so it is supposed to be bigger, and it can carry crew as well. So it explains why. But yeah, it's really big compared to the X-wing. So just try and get you side by side there as well. And from the back, so it's a huge ship, so I just fold those back in. Lock S follows in attack position, landing position. But yeah, so you can see, it's a huge ship. And then to compare it to another large ship though, so let's say the Falcon, that is them level with each other. So they're noting they are both large ships. It now looks tiny. And especially like you put them side on, put them on top, you know, it looks tiny compared to the Falcon. It's shocking they share the same base size. That is the downside sometimes, as the ships do look quite small. So yeah, but it's still really cool. Yeah, I do love the Ewing. It's still a very cool ship. So there we go. That is the Ewing model. I really love it. I think it's an absolutely awesome ship. It's a bit small to be a small ship. It almost needs it's a bit small to be a large ship, sorry. Almost needs to be in like some kind of pseudo medium-sized range. But I suppose the offset of it being a large ship is the fact that it's easier to hit, which even though it's got high hull and high shields, it's offset by the fact that it's easier to shoot. You know, that's the way I look at it. It's not just, you know, the size of the base is not just representative of how physically large it is, but how easy or hard it is to target. So there we go. That is the Ewing. I absolutely love the model. I think it's amazing. I'm just going to play with it while we talk. Overall, the pack's a really good pack. You get lots of value in there. I think this is great for starting players. If you're just going into it, say you bought the Force Awakens starter set, you know, you're into your X-Wing, this is great, just because of the sheer range of upgrades you get. There's loads of stuff here to play with, lots of different things you can do. The ships themselves, like I said, are quite cheap, easy to fit in with existing X-Wings or the upgraded X-Wing version, stuff like that, the Resistance X-Wing. There's just so much you can do. This is a really cool pack. Really happy with the Ewing, better than some of the previous releases, I feel, so almost just because of the number of upgrades you get. But yeah, no, this is just a really cool set. Really impressed with the Ewing. So on that note, remember, everything you've seen here today can be bought and sold individually as individual cards and components on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. Remember to like and subscribe. Check out my other X-Wing unboxing videos. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.